How you doing, everybody? Thanks for watching segment 4 Smacktalk. I'm Tony Gaglione.
I'm Shawn Adams.
We're going to do our top 5 championship college football games of all time. Not bowl games, just championship games.
It could be any game as long as it's a championship game. I'll start out with my number 5. Hawaii versus Georgia. It was a bowl game. Hawaii was undefeated. They had Timmy Chang, who was breaking records, slinging the ball, 60 points, like 600 yards passing. June Jones was their coach at the time, current coach at SMU. And everyone's talking about how Hawaii would give Georgia a run for their money and their offense is going to be a great matchup. And Georgia just murdered them. And if that stands as a touchdown, that is
a great
top 10.
catch. Oh, my God.
Clemson just scored a touchdown.
That is a touchdown.
That you guys need to watch. That's top 10. It's 33-29, pending a point. I'm sorry. It was pass interference of defense, yes.
Decline.
I will take a moment here to watch the replay of that game because that was an awesome catch. You guys need to watch this. This will be on SportsCenter top 10. It'll probably be top 10 plays of 2014.
Maybe.
Because that was ridiculously good.
Ridiculous.
That was good. Your number 5.
My number 5 was the MAC championship game when Byron Leftwich on the final drive broke his leg. He refused to come off the field and told his offensive line to carry him to the line. So what he would do is the offensive line would carry him to the line. He would hobble back on one leg, fire a rocket about 30 yards downfield, and he would do this for 70 yards. And the offensive line would keep carrying him,
Not to mention the
game-winning touchdown. Yeah,
that was
huge.
That was a great game. My number 4 game is the Oregon versus Alabama National Championship, and there goes the replay. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Oregon versus Alabama. Oregon put it together all year. They get to the national championship game. They've got Chip Kelly, who's now at the Eagles. They got this crazy offense. Auburn,
They had Dennis Dixon as their quarterback.
Dennis Dixon? No.
Yeah, man.
No, Dennis Dixon. That was earlier. It wasn't Dennis Dixon. Trust me. I know that it wasn't Dennis Dixon. Cam Newton was the quarterback. He had my father took money for me to go to Auburn. And then in the game, the guy puts his knee down, and everyone thinks that he stopped, and he did, and he gets up and runs for a touchdown.
I think that was Dwyer.
No, that wasn't.
It was Michael Dyer.
Dyer. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. But that was a great game. Auburn's defense, Nick Fairley, just murdered the Oregon offense. They couldn't do the option read because Fairley's in the quarterback and running back's face every time. Your number 4
My
game
number
was
4
a great
was
game.
Doug Flutie, the Hail Mary pass. There's about 10 guys lined up at that goal line waiting to stop this thing, and Flutie just lofts it over to another guy who happens to be his roommate, and the guy's laden down to catch the ball to win the game in that bowl game. It was the only play that made any highlight because the game was relatively meaningless.
Yeah.
Not meaningless, but, I mean, uneventful up until that point.
If you watch the replay, I think Flutie's wearing like a number 20.
It's so old. He's still got the mesh.
The mesh jerseys.
Like his belly's still sticking out.
My high school practice jerseys.
Yeah, exactly.
My number 3 game we already talked about was the Marshall Byron Leftwich game. In my opinion, that is just an insane act of toughness. Most guys Anderson over their leg in football, and they're. I know
it wasn't that bad.
Well, he still broke his leg and he plays. I mean, that takes thing. That's better than the Kurt Schilling bloody sock moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm just saying.
That's a good one.
He had a pretty good career with Jackson.
My number 3 is Miami versus Ohio State. It's a national championship game. You got Willis McGahee. Ken Dorsey was hailed to be like the next Peyton Manning at that time.
Yeah, whatever.
And they thought they were just going to roll over him. I think Miami was like a 14 or 15-point favorite, and Ohio State's defense just came out and rolled them.
Yeah.
Rolled them with Craig Krenzel as the quarterback.
People don't remember, though,
man.
when McGahee got injured, it was Frank Gore.
Frank Gore that came
stepped in. They had Andre Johnson as a freshman, Frank Gore as a freshman. But fun fact of information most people don't know about is on the flight to the national championship game, Willis McGahee and his father are on the team plane, and they're signing an insurance policy for $2 million in the event of a major injury. And yes, that injury,
and his leg folds over 90 degrees.
Yeah, that activated that. Talk about the best decision he could have made as a young player, because most young players, they're not into that insurance and covering themselves. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, no big deal, whatever. The insurance guy that's on the plane is trying to get these people, he's trying to make his commission, and they're like, no. But he got the one signature that probably helped McGahee, who later on has a great NFL career. he probably, had he never got that insurance policy, he probably would have never have gotten
Drafted.
the money to repair his knee to get drafted, have an NFL career. My number 2 game was this year, SEC championship game, Auburn versus Alabama, only because Nick Saban lost, and they did a Devin Hester. They kick a field goal, and he misses it. The guy runs it back, and Alabama doesn't even know what's going on. And by the time they realize what's going on, he's already at the 50, and he's only got to clear like the kicker. And then some linemen who are not catching this kid, they run it down. Team of Destiny, who we're picking for the national championship game.
Definitely. My number 2, I'll just do it really quick because it was so old, but Cal Stanford. The band is on the field.
The band is on the field.
This is every time you see in the fourth quarter, there's no time left, when people are just flipping the ball around. This is why. Cal Stanford. John Elway was on Stanford and lost that game.
Yeah, but let's be honest. They don't lose that game if the band's not on the field, because we've watched that similar kind of play many times. It never works out that way.
No, it doesn't.
It's only because the dude is running through a crowd of band members.
It almost worked out that way for your Steelers until
it
stepped out of bounds.
Oh, they would have went to the playoffs with that. Yes. My number 1 is the USC-Texas game with Vince Young and
awesome.
Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
They had
Reggie Bush.
The 4th down, but they had Lendell White and Reggie Bush on the bench, and everyone talked about this. Why not put Lendell White as the fullback, Reggie Bush, and then run that 4th down play? Because now you're but whatever. Vince Young has the touchdown where he basically looks like he's walking.
Yeah.
And it was a great game.
That was a great game.
That was Vince Young's highlight moment.
Yeah, of his whole career. Because when he went to the Titans, he mentally collapsed. So my number 1 was Boise State versus Oklahoma in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. It was
Statue of Liberty play.
The Statue of Liberty play, but the play before that scored the touchdown was the hook and ladder.
Yeah, the hook and ladder. Yeah,
it was like
trick
a
play
5-yard, and then toss it off,
Yeah.
and dude ran, I don't know, Titus Younger, I think it was, and ran like 30 yards for a touchdown. Then the Statue of Liberty play. The guy who gets the Statue of Liberty runs it in, throws the ball in the stands, proposes to his
girlfriend,
to the girlfriend right there. Greatest game I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. Like Tony said, most people remember the Statue of Liberty play.
It was the hook and ladder before that.
The hook and ladder.
It was 4th and 17.
Yeah, if you don't know what the hook and ladder is, let me just tell you. Hook and back is going outside of that, so when a guy catches the ball, he's breaking inside, he catches it, and then he just laterals it to the guy that's running full speed.
On a wing route.
Yeah, and the DB is...
It's hard to cover, and it's also hard to execute too. So that's why you don't see it that often.
What I'm hoping, this is to close out our top 5. We did our top 5. I'm hoping that the national championship game this year falls into the category of one of the greatest games ever.
I hope one of these 2 games tonight fall in the category of that too.
Yeah, Tony just hopes that they both go over and Clemson and Mizzou win. He'll win.
I've already won 200 tonight on hockey.
He's there. Thanks for watching
Blackhawks.
Smack Talk. I'm Shawn Adams.
I'm Tony Gaglione.